This is the story of the Stevens Cipher Coupé, Britain's lost 90s sports car. Most stories end with success, a launch, a showroom, a legacy. However, this one ends with a single car, the car that I've driven nearly 800 miles over 2 days to try and see in real life and sacrificed a timing chain on my Fiat Doblo along the way for. Built in 1996, this car was designed to be mass-produced, and yet only one ever existed, the one that we're looking at. This is the Stevens Cipher Coupé, a forgotten British sports car prototype that almost became real and might have rewritten sports car history if timing and investment had been kinder. Who created it? Well, the Cipher Coupé was the work of Professor Tony Stevens, a British engineer and automotive designer with decades of experience outside the mainstream industry. Tony Stevens had already spent years chasing a dream, building a lightweight, affordable British sports car to replace the MGs and Triumphs that disappeared in the 1970s. That dream did produce several earlier Cipher prototypes, promising, praised, but always underfunded. One based on a Reliant kitten still exists, another on a Lada. However, by the mid-90s, Stevens had a new opportunity, and this time, seemingly with international backing. The big idea then? Well, in 1996, Stevens partnered with Malaysian interests connected to Proton, the national car manufacturer of Malaysia. His plan, ambitious but clever: use existing Proton and Mitsubishi mechanicals, which were reliable, cheap and proven, but wrap them in a bespoke British designed chassis and body and then build up to 50,000 cars on existing production lines that Proton had in Malaysia. This wouldn't be a kit car, it would be a proper mass-produced sports coupe. And to prove the concept to investors, Stevens was asked to build one fully functional prototype. And that car is the car I'm looking at today, the Proton-based Cipher Coupé. Under the fiberglass skin, mechanically speaking, the Cipher Coupé was refreshingly sensible. Under the bonnet, a 1.8 litre, 16-valve Mitsubishi 4-cylinder engine, sourced from the Proton Citrer, and hailed as the famous Proton Citrer GTI engine. The suspension, drivetrain, brakes are all Proton/Mitsubishi components. But why? Because Stevens wanted the car to be reliable, affordable and easy to maintain, not another exotic prototype that couldn't actually be serviced. Even today, this one, it runs and drives, even if it isn't actually road legal, with fewer than 2,000 miles ever covered. The design itself, visually, well, it's pure 90s optimism, isn't it? Up front, quad headlights give it a distinctive, almost kit car look, but the body flows smoothly down the sides, finishing in a camtail rear, a design choice focused on aerodynamic efficiency rather than, well, decoration. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, isn't it? But this wasn't a rebodied hatchback. No, the body and chassis were entirely bespoke, designed from the ground up by Stevens. And even the design kind of tells its own story, because the windscreen, well, that came from a 1995 Renault 5. The interior lifted entirely from a Proton Citrer, and the seats, well, period Recaro sport seats, of course, chosen to reinforce the fact that this was meant to be a real driver's car. It is part prototype and part production preview, which exactly is what it needed to be at the time. Now, inside, the coupe is refreshingly honest. It's got no luxury gimmicks, no over-designed concept nonsense, and you do get simple, functional cabin, borrowed where it makes sense and upgraded where it matters. this was a car designed to be built and not just displayed. Inside, air conditioning, power steering, the Recaro sports seats, but also a Verona tape deck. So why did it never happen? Because I guarantee most of you have never heard of this car. Well, the answer is because timing can kill even the best of ideas. That and money. And just as the Cipher Coupé prototype was completed, the Asian financial crisis hit in late 1996. The funding collapsed, the production plans vanished overnight, and the project was quietly shelved. Never really to be heard of again. No second prototype, no production run, no comeback. The Stevens Cipher Coupé became a one-off survivor of a cancelled future. However, it is a coincidence that in 1996, Lotus was bought by Proton. And in 1997, Proton launched their M21 model, their own coupe, the Putra, in Malaysia. It had Recaro sports seats, a 1.8 litre engine. And with that in mind, well, it does beg the question, why would Proton need another British sports car manufacturer in the mix? I have to ask, is this actually the real reason why the Cipher deal was shelved? So it is the only one left. This, today, is the only Stevens Cipher Coupé in existence. The prototype, they made no more. And it has remained with its original creator, Tony Stevens, for decades, preserved in a shed rather than driven, before eventually appearing publicly, astonishing enthusiasts, including myself, who had never seen it before. But it's not a supercar, is it? It's not worth millions. What is it valued at? Well, it has been offered for sale a few times over the past decade, with Professor Stevens initially asking, sit down, a whopping £250,000. Yeah, £250,000. Safe to say, it didn't tempt anyone at that price. In 2022, it failed to sell again, this time via auction through Car and Classic. Reaching £18,000, it didn't meet its reserve, and it was quietly rolled back into Professor Stevens' shed. Now this year, I went to see the car, offered, this time with a reserve price of just £10,000 at Hobbs Parker auction house in Kent. It received one bid of £3,000, not reaching anywhere near the reserve. And that one bid, well, it wasn't me. It is something rare, a fully functional, production-ready sports car that sort of simply missed the moment, and quite possibly the mark. But its quirks remain intact, including a fuel gauge that doesn't quite work and a bonnet that doesn't really stay up properly. But why does it matter? Well, to me, the Stevens Cipher Coupé matters because it represents a truth, as best as we know, about the car industry. Great ideas don't always win. Talent doesn't guarantee success. And timing can be everything. If things had gone differently, this might have been a common sight on the British roads. A lightweight, affordable sports coupe built from global collaboration. However, instead today it stands alone, back in a shed, a reminder of what almost was. Sometimes the rarest cars aren't the most expensive. They're the ones that never got their chance. My views, for what they're worth, is that this car belongs in the hands of an enthusiast, someone who will potentially put the time and effort into trying to turn it from a concept prototype to a road-legal, drivable car. It's not impossible, but it will certainly be a bit of a journey, won't it? And I've asked myself many times, as have you, John, why don't you buy it? And I did genuinely consider it. I considered a crowdfund. But what would I do with it? Genuinely. What would I do with it? Look at it, polish it, take it to bits, keep it running, trailer it to shows, get it road legal? It is a genuine piece of automotive history that I think deserves to be preserved. But I have a fear. And that fear is that it will probably end up on the scrap heap one day, entirely a memory of something that could, but probably not should, have been. What do you reckon? The Proton-based Stevens Cipher Coupé, would you have bought one? Did you know about the car? And what do you think its future should be? If you've enjoyed this little history video, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe and follow for more on this car. A full walk around and my first review and reaction to the car is coming to the channel very soon. Till next time, thanks for watching. Goodbye. There are so many more Proton related videos on the channel, and I've actually selected a couple that I think you might like here on this page. Give them a click to watch them now. Don't forget to subscribe for more Proton fun and lots more videos coming soon.